After the events of Avengers: Age of Ultron, the Avengers started working as an independent team. In 2016, Captain America finds out about drone attacks happening worldwide. Meanwhile, a criminal is stealing and causing violence. When Captain America learns about him, he begins tracking him. He is none other than 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗲, a former Hydra agent. He hates the Avengers because they destroyed Hydra, leaving him badly injured. He swears revenge, vowing to kill them if they cross his path. 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗲 and his gang go to Lagos, Nigeria, to steal a biological weapon. Captain America and his team follow them. During the fight, 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗲 suicides to kill Captain America, but Wanda Maximoff, Scarlet Witch, uses her powers to save him. However, she loses control and crashes 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗲 into a nearby building, killing many innocent people, including 11 Wakandan civilians. The world blames the Avengers for the destruction. To control them, the U.S. Secretary of State introduces the Sokovia Accords. According to these accords, the Avengers can no longer operate independently. They must follow government orders. Any superhero who breaks these rules will be jailed. 117 countries sign this law, forcing the Avengers to choose either to obey the government or retire. These accords cause the team to split. Tony Stark supports the accords because a grieving mother confronted him about her son's death during the Ultron battle. But Captain America refuses because he believes the governments will be able to misuse their powers if they sign. Meanwhile, a new villain, Helmut Zemo, plots revenge. His family died in Sokovia during Ultron's attack. He knows that Ultron was created by Tony Stark, and he blames the Avengers.
I lost everyone.
Knowing he can't beat them in a fight, he wants the Avengers to fight each other. Zemo digs up Hydra's secret files, discovering that the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, might be involved in Tony Stark's parents' death in 1991. Zemo tracks down the Hydra officer who handled the Winter Soldier program, tortures him, and finds a hidden video proving Bucky's involvement. His plan was to make Iron Man and Captain America fight each other, destroying the Avengers from within. Zemo gets his hands on a book with all the secrets of the Winter Soldier program, but it's written in a code that's hard to crack. But the loyal Hydra agent refuses to talk. Zemo kills him and takes his files, learning that Hydra brainwashed Bucky Barnes using a Russian trigger phrase. If anyone says these special words to Bucky, he turns into a mindless killing machine and obeys every order. Now Zemo needs to find Bucky himself. He sets up an elaborate trap. First, he bombs the United Nations meeting in Vienna where the Sokovia Accords are being finalized. The explosion kills King T'Chaka of Wakanda. Zemo makes it look like Bucky was responsible, putting every police force in the world on his trail. The CIA locates Bucky's hideout, with Agent Sharon Carter leading the operation. Captain America knows the authorities will shoot Bucky on sight, so he and Falcon race to get to him first. But Black Panther, T'Challa, the new king of Wakanda, is also hunting Bucky, convinced he murdered his father. A massive chase erupts through the streets, with Bucky trying to escape, Cap and Falcon protecting him, and Black Panther attacking with his vibranium claws. War Machine arrives to break up the fight, and everyone gets arrested. At the police station, Zemo puts his real plan into action. He knew Bucky would be sent for a psychological evaluation, so he murders the real psychiatrist and takes his place. Right before the session, he has an EMP device shut off power to the entire building, disabling all cameras and recording equipment. In the darkness, Zemo whispers the Russian trigger words to Bucky, activating his Winter Soldier programming. Under Zemo's control, Bucky reveals the terrible truth about December 16th, 1991. Hydra ordered him to assassinate Howard and Maria Stark. He also stole the super soldier serum from Howard. Hydra used that serum to create 5 more super soldiers. But, unlike Bucky, they were uncontrollable. So, Hydra froze their bodies, and they're still asleep in a Hydra base in Siberia. Zemo's plan works perfectly. Bucky tries escaping in a helicopter, but Steve stops him, sending them both crashing into a river below. Bucky gets knocked unconscious. Steve and Sam capture him, locking his metal arm in a tight grip so he can't break free. When Bucky wakes up, his memories return, and he explains that Zemo was interrogating him about the location of the other Winter Soldiers. Steve and Sam realize Zemo's plan. He wants to use the brainwashed super soldiers to unleash chaos. Knowing they'll be outmatched, Steve decides to recruit more heroes who oppose the Sokovia Accords. First, he reaches out to Hawkeye, who comes out of retirement to help. Next, Clint breaks 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗲 out of the Avengers compound, where Vision had been keeping her under house arrest. Wanda uses her powers to subdue Vision, and they escape. Ant-Man also joins the team after Steve contacts him, and Sharon Carter secretly retrieves their confiscated gear, becoming a fugitive in the process. Meanwhile, Tony Stark learns about Steve's rogue team and assembles his own squad to stop them. He assembles Black Widow, Vision, War Machine, and young Spider-Man. He gives Spider-Man a new suit equipped with advanced tech. The two teams clash at an airport in an epic battle. After a long fight between the two superhero teams, Ant-Man grows giant to create a distraction, allowing Steve and Bucky to slip away towards Siberia. The fight ends with most of Team Cap captured. Sam, Clint, Scott, and Wanda are imprisoned in the Raft, a high-security underwater prison. Because Natasha helped Steve escape, she goes on the run. Steve and Bucky take Tony's plane to stop Zemo. But Zemo also wanted Tony Stark there, because he wanted to show him the footage of Bucky killing his parents. For this purpose, Zemo calls the hotel staff and tells them about the dead body of the real psychiatrist, whom he killed earlier. When police find the body and news reaches Tony Stark, he realizes Steve was right, and he should help Captain America. Tony immediately goes to the Raft prison and asks Falcon about Steve. Falcon trusts him and tells him about the Siberian Hydra base. Tony leaves to help Steve, but Black Panther also follows him secretly. Meanwhile, Steve and Bucky arrive at the Siberian Hydra base, where Zemo awaits. He reveals his true plan. There are no other Winter Soldiers. He only wanted to lure them here to expose the bitter truth. A recorded video that can make them both thirsty for each other's blood. Black Panther was listening to this conversation, and now he knows that it wasn't Bucky who killed his father. It was Zemo who disguised himself as Winter Soldier. As the devastating footage plays, it shows Bucky, under Hydra's control, murdered Howard and Maria Stark. This video shatters Tony's world. Betrayed, Tony turns to Steve. "Did you know?" Steve hesitates, then admits he'd known this for almost 2 years. Enraged, Tony attacks Bucky, leading to an explosive three-way battle. Steve defends Bucky, and in the climactic fight, Tony blasts off Bucky's metal arm. Steve disables Tony's arc reactor with his own shield. Heartbroken, Steve leaves the shield behind, severing ties with one friend to save the other. Meanwhile, Black Panther captures Zemo, who confesses that his family died in Sokovia during Ultron's attack. Zemo tries to kill himself, but T'Challa saves him. Black Panther, realizing vengeance would only continue the cycle, he hands Zemo over to the authorities instead of killing him. In the aftermath, Steve breaks Sam, Wanda, Scott, and Clint out of the Raft prison. Tony builds Rhodey leg braces to help him walk again. The film ends with bittersweet moments. Captain America sends Tony a parcel. In a letter, Steve says that whenever Tony needs him, he will be there. In the mid-credits scene, Bucky, now in Wakanda, begins his healing process under T'Challa's protection. He fears that his brainwashing might resurface, so he chooses cryo-freeze in Wakanda for treatment. And in the post-credits, Peter Parker tests his new high-tech Spider-Man suit from Tony, and he is thrilled by its advanced features. Captain America. Civil War tore the Avengers apart, but they will assemble again to fight Thanos. If you enjoyed this recap of Captain America, don't forget to like and share the video. For more interesting content, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update.